So Donald Trump did a ride-along of sorts with those on hand to get rid of homelessness and crime in Washington, D.C. If I'm not mistaken, we're 8 days without a murder in Washington, D.C. 8 days. There hasn't been a week without a murder in Washington that anybody can remember. Pretty incredible. My next guest works in Washington a lot. His name is Tim Walberg. He's a member of Congress, represents Michigan 5. Congressman, welcome back to the program.
Good to be back with you.
Yeah,
So
so
getting back to D.C.
it seems that I think they cleaned up 75 homeless encampments, have arrested hundreds of criminals, and in addition to that, some illegal aliens as well. No murder in a week? I mean, look, you work there, and people can tell you, oh, it's safe, it's over. Donald Trump was a tyrant, this and that. Look, the people that live in D.C., I keep seeing, and I'm going to be there tomorrow. I'll be there for a week covering the White House, so I'm going to see for myself. But from everything that I'm seeing, the people that live there, that are lifetime residents of D.C., like this. Well, what are you hearing?
Well, we're hearing the same thing, in a city that had 6 times the homicide rate of New York City. People are not going to be demonstrating against law and order. They may be liberal, they may be anti-Trump, but in the end, when they can walk the streets, they know their families are safer. They're going to at least be quiet about what Trump is doing for the city. That's the capital of the United States. It's the United States' city, and he has authority to do that. And if the local government won't do what they need to do to protect the visitors and the residents of the city, then it is time for the federal government to step up, whether it be Congress or the president. And this president is willing to do it. And I think it's working.
Yeah, I'm firmly of the belief, Congressman, that when other cities see what has happened in D.C., look, all these major cities, almost without fail, have a shortage of police officers. They have a shortage of people to enforce the law. So, so they're up against it every single day. When other cities around this country see results in D.C., I believe they're going to be clamoring, hey, we want that. Our citizens want that. It's hard to deny law and order. Look, the one thing the government's supposed to do, your job as a representative, in my opinion, is to keep the people safe. That's the government's job, whether it's local, state, federal, the one job, keep your citizens safe, whatever that takes, whatever that means. Would you agree?
I would agree. That's our key priority, to preserve, protect, to defend the Constitution. And the Constitution is something that gives Americans more freedom and security than any other document in the world. And that's what's made America so special. And I think what will need to take place is that cities that are led by these radical Democrat governors and mayors and town councils are going to have to wake up. And it's going to come as a result of Americans themselves looking at their leadership and saying, if it can be done in the District of Columbia, the national capital, and done very quickly to take over control in the sense of law and order and encourage and benefit the law abider and discipline and punish the lawbreaker, then why can't we do it in our city as well? So
exactly.
I believe cities will be hard pressed to push back against their citizens.
Yeah. People are going to say, hey, I want some of that for my city. I'm just, if D.C. can go a week without a murder, maybe St. Louis can go a week without a murder. Maybe Memphis can go a week without a murder. Maybe, New Orleans, some of these other cities that have high crime rates. Anyhow, your education committee is opening an investigation into anti-Semitism at the nation's largest teachers union. This is a pretty shocking little headline here. Do tell.
Well, we've seen that unions who allegedly are representing their membership aren't necessarily doing that. We saw the AFT president, Randy Weingarten, making more than the president of the United States and taking slush funds, as it were, for travel, for limousine rides in the hundreds of thousands of dollars, and making more than 6 times of what her membership, the teachers, actually make. Also has been promoting anti-Semitism in various ways. We've seen that also in the other major unions in this country as well. And that's not something that should be acceptable in the United States. And I think what's even worse, Steve, is that they're also promoting anti-Americanism. Anti-Semitism is just the kind of the tip of the iceberg. But down deep, as we've seen on college campus demonstrations, it's anti-American as well. And in America, we're free to even be against America. But when it's pervasive in concept and philosophy, and it's being a tool of indoctrination of our citizens at taxpayers' expenses and at union members' expense, then we've got a problem. And if it develops in the way it has appeared, it could be tragic for this great experiment in Republican democracy.
Yeah. I was having this conversation. I was actually in Lansing at the State House here earlier this week, talking to a bunch of different people. And the unions, teachers' unions, I want to just focus on this for a second, continue to look after their members, their money, their power. But the one thing they seem to forget all the time, they seem to be called students. I mean, shouldn't that be number one, Congressman? Shouldn't that be the first thing on their list?
Yeah, people around Washington, D.C., and maybe my committee members are getting tired of Tim Walberg, their chairman, saying if we get three things right, we'll have great education and opportunity in this country. And those three things start with the student, the parent, and the teacher.
Wow.
You take care of the
Yeah.
student, parent, teacher.
Yeah.
The three aspects of education that makes things work, I think we'll have great education in the country. We haven't done that. We've taken care of union
Well, in fact, in some places, they attack the parents outright. You have no place here. We'll tell you what we're going to teach the children. We know better than you, the parent. I mean, that is still the attitude of some of these union people. A lot of them, isn't it?
Well, we heard that expression, domestic terrorist. It was coming down from our attorney general back in the Biden days, when parents stood up at a school board meeting and said, wait a second, we don't want that going on in our schools, whether it was some educational tool that was being used that went against traditional, conservative, even Christian philosophy, or where they were taking boys and putting them in girls' locker rooms and allowing that type of thing to take place. And parents stood up, rightly so, what they saw during COVID when they had a chance to look online and see what their kids were being taught in certain cases. And I'm not attacking all teachers. There's some wonderful teachers that are just as frustrated as I am. But we have got it wrong. And I think Randy Weingarten and others who lead these education unions, and what we've seen with some of the faculty senates in our major college universities, including places like Harvard and Columbia,
it's
MIT.
terrible.
It's wrong. It's wrong.
Yeah. Congressman, I got to leave it there. I'm glad you're here today in districts. Beautiful weekend on tap, I hope, anyhow. Congressman, thank you for being here. As always, we'll keep up on this, and we'll talk soon.
Enjoy your week in Washington. I'll take care of Michigan.
Attaboy. It's a fair trade. It's a fair trade. Congressman Tim Walberg, there you have it. Never a dull moment, even when Congress is out. It's the Steve Gruber Show. I'll be back.